my proud privilege to extend a warm and respectful welcome to this August gathering on the occasion of the 27th death anniversary of late SHRI Prafulla Kumar Dhal, a name remembered with reverence, integrity, and deep respect in the legal fraternity. We are truly elated by your gracious presence this evening as we come together to pay tribute to a life devoted to law, justice, and service. We are deeply honored to have amongst us His Lordship, Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha, Shri Harish Tandon Sir, as our chief guest today, who has graciously consented to grace this occasion as the chief guest. Your Lordship's presence is a source of great honor and inspiration for all of us gathered here this evening. We feel privileged that His Lordship, Honorable Chief Justice Dikshit Krishna Shripad Sir, Honorable Judge Odisha High Court, has agreed to grace the occasion as a chief speaker. He has agreed to share his valuable insight on Constitution and Dharma Shastra, which is eagerly awaited by all of us today. We are incredibly grateful to have His Lordship, Honorable Chief Justice Anand Chandra Behra Sir, Honorable Judge, Odisha High Court, as a guest of honor, whose strong ethics and simple demeanor has endeared him to all of us. We also have Sri Manoj Kumar Mishra, Senior Advocate, and our beloved President of the Odisha High Court Bar Association as a guest of honor, to whom we are eternally thankful for guiding us. Last but not the least, we have amongst ourselves Honorable Chief Justice A.S. Naidu Sir, former Judge, Odisha High Court, and the esteemed President of our Sansad, who has agreed to preside over this occasion and whose warmth, affection, and guidance has always been the Sansad's driving force. Esteemed honorable judges of the Odisha High Court, of the dais, their lordships who have taken out their valuable time to grace this occasion, respected senior advocates, senior members of the bar, learned colleagues, distinguished guests, family members and relatives of late Shri Prafula Kumar Dhal, ladies and gentlemen. Today's program has been thoughtfully organized to commemorate not only the memory of late Shri Prafula Kumar Dhal, but also the values he stood for: professional excellence, ethical advocacy, and unwavering commitment to justice. This solemn occasion is graced by the presence of eminent members of the judiciary and bar, whose association with this event adds immense dignity and significance. Before we begin, we want to thank one and all for making time out of their busy schedule to attend this August gathering. Now, I call upon Master Jatkrupa Das to recite a shloka from the Bhagavad Gita for us.
श्री परमात्मने नमः। श्रीमद्भगवत गीता अथ पंचमोऽध्याय कर्म संन्यास योग। अर्जुनोवाच संन्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संससि यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते। ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते। सांख्ययोग पृथक् बाला प्रवदन्ति न पण्डितः एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यक् उभयो विन्दते फलम्। यत्साङ्ख्ये प्राप्यते स्थानं तद्योगैरपि गम्यते। एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च पश्यति स पश्यति। सन्न्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमाप्तुम् अयोगतः योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्म न चिरेणाधिगच्छति। योगयुक्तो विशुद्धात्मा विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रियः सर्वभूतात्मा भूतात्मा कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते। नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति जो युक्तमन्येत तत्त्ववित्। पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् स्वशन्।
Thank you. Now I would request our honorable guests for the evening to kindly grace the dais. And I'd request our guests to kindly give their floral tribute to late Shri Prafula Kumar Dhal. Now I would request Honorable Justice is Naidu sir to kindly felicitate our chief guest for the evening, Honorable Chief Justice Odisha High Court, Shri Harish Tandon sir. Thank you, sir. Now I would request Shri Manoj Kumar Mishra sir, Senior Advocate, President Odisha High Court Bar Association to kindly felicitate Honorable Justice Shri Dikshit Krishna Sripad sir, Judge, Odisha High Court. Thank you, sir. Now I would request Shri Upendra Kumar Samal, Secretary of our Sansad, to kindly felicitate Honorable Shri Justice Anand Chandra Mehra sir, Judge, Odisha High Court. Please. Kindly, kindly. Awesome. I request all the guests to kindly take this seat. Now I request Shri Upendra Kumar Samal sir, Secretary of our Sansad, to please present the annual report of the Sansad.
Esteemed Chief Guest of the evening, Honorable Justice Sri Harish Tandon, Chief Justice Odisha High Court, Honorable Sri Justice Dikshit Krishna Sripad, Judge Odisha High Court, Chief Speaker, Guest of Honor, Honorable Sri Justice Ananda Chandra Behera, Judge Odisha High Court, and Sri Manoj Kumar Mishra, Senior Advocate, President, High Court Bar Association, President of the Sansad, Justice A.S. Naidu, former Judge, Orissa High Court, Honorable Judges of the High Court of Orissa, dignitaries, distinguished member of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Prafulla Kumar Dhal Smriti Sansad, I welcome you all to the August gathering. Soon after the sad demise of Sri Prafulla Kumar Dhal, the man who left the footprints of the sands, time on our legal profession and the fields of legal education, the Smriti Sansad came into existence in the year 1998 with the primary object of carrying his legacy and his cherished work for legal education and women education. He is remembered and revered by generations to come as a teacher of law of evidence and a practitioner par excellence. For him, life has not just to provide comfort and roof to his own family. He dedicated his resources, financial, physical, and spiritual, to whosoever required his help. His professional responsibilities and his family obligations never stopped him from the commitment to the society or his quest for spirituality. Life is always followed by death, as well as similar. Man is never the master of his own destiny. When one lives for his heavenly abode, it is for the family and friends to further fulfill his unaccomplished work. The Sansad strive hard to achieve the same, to bring justice to his legacy. Every year, since its inception, the Sansad felicitates eminent and senior lawyers from various bar associations of the state in recognition of their lifelong contribution to the society in dispensation of justice, lawyers who have devoted their lives to the legal profession. This year, we have invited 7 such eminent lawyers who are here amongst us today. Sri Prafulla Chandra Mahanti, Advocate Khurda, Sri Akshay Kumar Mahanti, Advocate Kendrapada, Sri Basudev Panda, Senior Advocate Katak, Sri Umaballabh Mahapatra, Senior Advocate Puri, Sri Rajanikanta Patnaik, Advocate Khurda, Sri Ajay Kumar Borad, Advocate Katak, Sri Suri Prasad Swai, Advocate Jagasimpur. The Smriti Sansad has strived to identify and address the issues prevailing in our society, and we now conduct the Prafulla Kumar Dhal Memorial Workshop on women leadership and basic legal literacy across the state. This summer, as part of our social service initiatives, the Shruti Sansad set up a watershed and provide cold water, ORS, dahi chala, and lassi to the pedestrians and passers-by throughout the month of April, May, and June with the help of our tireless volunteers and with the help of members of Inner Wheel Club of Cuttack Midtown. The Sansad is successfully established a room in the name of late Sri Prafulla Kumar Dhal in an old age home run by Rotary men near Naraj, and also to further our efforts in providing access to the infrastructure to colleges. The Sansad successfully inaugurated the Prafulla Kumar Dhal Memorial Moot Court Hall at University Law College, Utkala University in the year 2025. We continue our endeavor to help advance of legal education in the state of Odisha. We have decided to start law lecturers by legal luminaries in different fields of law from the next year, which will provide the important insights and knowledge for the bar, especially to the young advocates. With the help, encouragement, and well wish of everyone present here, we feel optimistic to take our work forward in more ways for the fraternity and the society in upcoming years. Thanking you all.
Thank you, sir. I have been informed that our Honorable Chief Guest of the evening, Honorable Chief Justice, Odisha High Court, has some other commitments for which he would like to address the gathering now. May I request my Lordship to kindly.
Good evening to all of you. I do not know because I have been talking to my brother, Justice Dikshit Sripad, that whether you have been assigned with any topic to speak upon. Then he said that I have chosen a very important and I would say very informative topic which everybody should know about it. And now the river Senior, he has said there is a very sensitive as well. So obviously, everybody is eagerly waiting to hear Justice Dikshit on that. We were just having a chat that when this kind of a, the, I would say, the remembrance uh, programs are being organized to commemorate the illustrious seniors who have really shown the path at the bar, I think it is our ardent duty to keep all his ethics, the discipline, the morale which he embraced throughout his life to be spreaded upon to all the members of the bar and the aspiring members of the bar. They have left the mark. We have to introspect whether we have really lived upon those ethical values which he had throughout his career as a lawyer, as a senior advocate, and as a doyen of the bar. I have been going through the autobiography, if I say, or the life of the gentleman, Mr. Prafulla Kumar Dhal. That mesmerizes me, and it was also horrified me. It has also horrified me that whether I have been able to keep up those principles which he had in his throughout his life is very difficult to maintain it or to adhere to it or to embrace it. Yet we feel that we should, and the bar would be enriched if we keep those principles. To the young members of the bar, the only one advice I can give, I never use the word sermon. It's only an advice and a request to all of you that look at the gentleman who departed us 27 years before, that how meticulous he was in preparing his case and how generous he was when he used to appear before the court and argues the matter. The precisions, the address to a particular core issue without any further delay or a wastage of a time of the court, and the humor which always we always invite in the court. Those humors are also teaching us a many lessons. He always stood for the justice. I think that is the order of the day as well. It is a justice which is paramount and not a individual person or a position. When Justice Dikshit always remains, he talks about many mythologicals, many religious texts. He's well versed into it. I feel pygmy in front of him in this regard. But still, when I when I when I ponder upon the things, what I find that we must know the difference between a nyaya and a dharma. What could be said to be nyaya and what is the dharma? I think this Dikshit would be able to enlighten us on this particular aspect. He has been taking you to a tour of the making of a constitution, and the constitutions been scripted, and the book conveys a very, very, very strong message. It is not a printed words, but there has been a lot of the pictures depicted thereupon, which really conveys a very strong message towards our culture, our traditions, the Indian society, our duties, our responsibilities, the moral, the principles, the ethical aspect. I think he will be able to elaborate those in his deliberations. Because of my some, the other works, I will definitely miss his eloquence, which I always embrace and admire. And his rhetoric is always appreciated by me in all respect. Thank you for giving this opportunity, and God bless you. Let Lord Jagannath may bless all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now it's time to honor and felicitate distinguished senior advocates and senior members of the bar who have immensely contributed to the profession and have upheld its highest traditions with integrity, dedication, and excellence. First and foremost, I would call upon Shraddha Das to read the citation for Sri Prafulla Chandra Mahanti from Khurda.
Good evening to all my seniors and colleagues. Sri Prafulla Chandra Mahanti is an epitome of harmonious blend of legal scholarship, public service, social leadership, and unwavering commitment to the people of Khorda district. After completing his legal education from MS Law College, he emerged as a committed organizer and institutional leader. His long association with the Khorda Club, one of the oldest clubs in the region, stands as a reflection of his contribution to nurturing cultural spaces. As a president of Khorda Sports Association, he played an important role in promoting sport activities and encouraging youth engagement across the district. He served as the vice president of the Khurda Central Cooperative Bank for nearly 2 decades, contributing significantly to cooperative growth and grassroots financial development. Earlier, in the year 1964, he was elected as the vice president of All Odisha Student Union, demonstrating at a very young age his inclination towards organized public life and collective responsibility. He has remained deeply associated with almost all major social, charitable, and philanthropic institutions of Khurda district, contributing his journey lives in life exemplifies not only exemplifies his steadfast public spirit, institutional commitment, and oriented leadership. On behalf of the Smriti Sansad, we feel proud to felicitate you on this occasion and pray to the Almighty to bless you with a long, healthy, and active life.
Take it. Now I would request Shri Akshay Kumar Mahanti, Kendrapada, from Kendrapada to kindly approach the stage.
Good evening to all my seniors. Esteemed sir, there are individuals whose lives widely affirm that commitment, when carried through decades with sincerity and discipline, becomes a form of service in itself. You, sir, are one such distinguished figure whose long and devoted association with the legal profession reflects an unwavering sense of responsibility, an exemplary steadiness of purpose, and a deep attachment to the ideals of justice. On behalf of the Prafulla Kumar Dhal Smriti Sansad, we feel proud to felicitate you on the occasion of the 27th death anniversary of late Mr. Prafulla Kumar Dhal and pray Almighty to bless you with long, healthy, and active life.
Thank you so much, Arghya. Now I would request Shri Basudev Panda, Senior Advocate from Cuttack, to kindly approach the dais. And I would request Shraddha Das to kindly read.
The name of Sri Basudev Panda is synonymous to tax laws in the state of Odisha. His mastery over taxation has earned him respect throughout the state and the country. He not only served as the secretary and president but also served as the National Joint Secretary of the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners. You have inspired generations of young lawyers by organizing successful national tax conferences and represented the state in international tax conferences at Tashkent in 2015. Today, our Smriti Sansad feels proud to felicitate you, and we pray to the Almighty to bless you with a long and healthy life.
Thank you, Shraddha. Now I would request Shri Uma Balav Mahapatra, Senior Advocate from Puri, to kindly approach the dais. And I would request Ms. Aryagni Panda to kindly read a citation.
Good evening to all my seniors. Esteemed sir, there are individuals whose lives remind us that true distinction is shaped not merely by talent but by steadfast purpose and an unwavering devotion to public good. You, sir, stand as a remarkable example of a life guided by duty, discipline, and a profound commitment to the people you have served for over 5 decades. Your journey illustrates how one's dedicated mind can influence institutions, uplift communities, and enrich the very fabric of public life. On this day, sir, on behalf of the Prafulla Kumar Dhara Smriti Sansad, we feel proud to felicitate you on the occasion of the 27th death anniversary of late Sri Prafulla Kumar Dhara and pray to the Almighty to bless you with a long, healthy, and active life. Thank you and regards.
Thank you. Now I would request Shri Rajnikanta Patnaik from Khordha to kindly approach the dais. Now I would request Ms. Neelam Swai to kindly read a citation.
Good evening, everyone. There are lives that teach us the steady dedication, when nurtured over decades, became a quiet force, shaping both a profession and a community. You, sir, embody such a life, one enriched by discipline, compassion, and an unwavering devotion to the cause of justice. Your long journey in the legal field stands as reminder that a true accomplishment is earned through patience, consistent, and a sincere commitment to public service. On behalf of Prafulla Kumar Dhal Smriti Sansad, we feel proud to felicitate on the occasion of 27th death anniversary of late Prafulla Kumar Dhal and pray to the Almighty to bless you with a long, healthy, and active life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Shri Ajay Kumar Barar from Cuttack to kindly approach the dais and Ms. Anvesha Mishra to kindly read his signature.
Good evening to my respected seniors. There are some in the legal profession whose journeys remind us that excellence is not a moment but a lifelong discipline. You, sir, stand as an exemplar of perseverance shaped by decades of rigorous practice, unwavering moral clarity, and the outstanding command over the art of advocacy. As an active member of Odisha State Bar Council across several terms, you have played a very important role in the institutional framework by drafting the Advocates Pension Scheme and Rules 2006 and later authored the vital regulations including the Odisha State Bar Council Emergency Financial Assistance Rules 2020 and many others. On behalf of Prafulla Kumar Dhal Smriti Sansad, we feel proud to felicitate you on this occasion and pray to the Almighty to bless you with a long, healthy, and active life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Shri Sori Prasad Swai from Jagat Singhpur to kindly approach the dais. I'd request Ms. Gyanani Nayak to read his citation.
Good evening, everyone. There are few lives that remind us that dedication is not an act but a lifelong discipline, and that greatness is not inherited but painstakingly earned. You, sir, represent that rare class of individual whose journey stands as a testament to relentless effort, unshakable resolve, and an unwavering commitment to the ideals of justice. In you, we see the embodiment of a man who has walked the long road of responsibility with dignity, humility, and an unbent spirit. A man who has honored the profession and elevated those who came in contact with him. On behalf of Prafulla Kumar Dhal Smriti Sansad, we feel proud to felicitate you on the occasion of the 27th death anniversary of late Prafulla Kumar Dhal and pray to the Almighty to give you a long, healthy, and active life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I'd request our guests of the evening to kindly take their seats. We cannot thank enough our Honorable Chief Guest of the evening, Honorable Chief Justice of the Odisha High Court, for gracing this equation. Now I would request Shri Manoj Kumar Mishra, Senior Advocate and President of our Odisha High Court Bar Association, to address this August gathering.
Jai Jagannath. Good evening to all. I've been given only 2 minutes to speak because we are waiting for erudite speakers and to hear brilliant speeches of my Lord Justice Krishna Dikit Sipad and my Lord Justice Behra. Honorable Chief Justice Harish Tandon, Chief Justice of Odisha High Court, Honorable Chief Justice Dikit Krishna Sipad, Honorable Justice Sri Anand Chandra Behra, Honorable Justice S. Naidu, former judge of Odisha High Court, Upendra Kumar Samal, Advocate, Honorable Justice B. Narsingh, Honorable Justice Savitri Ratho, Honorable Justice Sanjay Kumar Mishra, Honorable Justice Shiva Shankar Mishra, the, his worthy daughter Rumjum Naik. She's a famous writer. Famous writer means I've read her stories and articles, so I'm really impressed by her. And her worthy husband, Dharani Hadhar Naik, senior advocate, former chairman, Orissa State Bar Council, and former president of our Bar Association. Dev Prasad Dhar, his worthy son, senior advocate, member of Orissa State Bar Council, and former co-chairman of Bar Council of India, and family members of late Prafulla Kumar Dhar, senior advocate. Senior advocates, learned members of our association, friends from media, learned Registrar General, officers of the registry, ladies and gentlemen. As I know, Mr. Late Prafulla Kumar Dhal, renowned advocates from whom we can learn something. So I used to find that he is Mr. Prafulla Kumar Dhal, the way he was cross-examining the witnesses in criminal trials, and with much confidence he was cross-examining the witnesses. Really, it was impressive. You are seeing the cross-examination in cinemas, but you will see the real cross-examination of late Sri Prafulla Kumar Dhal. You will be really impressed. You will say that you will not like to leave the hall, leave the courtroom. So the way he was the questions were based on law, not only the best on law, and the way they were used to confuse the witnesses. Really, it is. I can describe the brilliance he had got, to the professional excellence he had got. So. Then, my lord, when I was he was not only a doyen of bar, but also he was a very religious minded. He was very religious minded and very soft hearted. He was a soft spoken person. He was not a rowdy person. He was, as my lord Chief Justice Tandon says, reading his biography, he was very much very courteous to court, and very, his submission was based on law only. And the submission was not based on, when he was arguing criminal appeals, the arguments, really, we I keep, at least myself and my friends, we keep notebooks with us and note down the judgments, note down the way he argues the case, and we try to follow the case. Even today we are also trying to follow his arguments, the way he was arguing in court. So not only doctor, also he was very good to young lawyers. He used to teach us many aspects: how to court, the court mannerism, how to argue in court, how to be ethical, how to be honest to the court, how to be honest to the judge, and the client, all these things. So really, after, even after 27 years of his departure, I still remember him, and his memory is still very bright in my memory. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and valuable words. Now I request our guest of honor, His Lordship Honorable Chief Justice Anand Chandra Behra, sir, to kindly say a few words to this august gathering.
श्रुति कमिटर सभापति न्यायमूर्ति एस नायडू महोदय, ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालय वरिष्ठ न्यायमूर्ति कृष्ण कृष्ण श्रीपद दीक्षित सार महोदय, उपस्थित ओडिशा हाईकोर्टर समस्त न्यायमूर्ति मान, ओडिशा वकील संघर सभापति मनोज कुमार मिश्र, उपस्थित समस्त वरिष्ठ और कनिष्ठ आईनजीवी मान और भद्र व्यक्ति और भद्र महिला मान, प्रफुल्ल कुमार धल वरिष्ठ आईनजीवी, सी गोटे निजे व्यक्ति नथिले, गोटे अनुष्ठान थिले। तांको जीवन काल भितरे सी 17 वर्ष पार्ट टाइम लेक्चर थिले मधुसूदन आईन महाविद्यालय एविडेंस एक्ट प्राय ओडिशार समस्त उन्नति करिथिबा वकील मानकर साक्ष्य, ओडिशा साक्ष्य आईन टाको प्रांजल भाव में बुझाइथिले। सी दीटा इंपोर्टेंट जर्नाल से ओडिशा रे बाहर थिला, सीडब्ल्यूआर सीएलआर, सेतिर एडिटर थिले। निज ग्राम कुंभ कुंभ कुंभकुड़ा कुंभका वो निज धर्मगुरु पीठस्थली दलुकारे स्कूल मध्य स्थापन कर, बहु स्कूल स्थापन कर। ओडिशा आईनजीवी मानक आर्ट ऑफ प्रोसिक्यूशन मार्गदर्शन कर। मत अनुसार ए काउंसिल क्रॉस एग्जामिनिंग ए विटनेस शुड फर्स्ट नो व्हाट नॉट टू आस्क, देन व्हाट टू आस्क। प्रथमे तांकर ओपिनियन, मु बालेश्वर बहु बार से सेशंस केस करबा को जाउ थांती, आमे सेते कम बयसर नुआ प्रैक्टिस से जगह मिले, आमे प्राय बसु थाए सेते हमर बालेश्वर आईनजीवी रवि मिश्र साथ भारी घनिष्ठ संपर्क। एवं आम सार मध्य जो जामाता वरिष्ठ आईनजीवी धरणी बाबूर सांग, एवं थे सर्किट हाउस थिला बेले मु गली से बुझाऊ था आगे जब क्रॉस एग्जामिन कला बेले आपण मैंने जानवे कौ क्वेश्चन टा न पचार उचित। ताहा जे क्रिमिनाल लॉ न जानी सी जीवन तार सक्सेस पथ भारी दुर्गम। मोर कहवा अनुसार इट मे बी इजी टू बी एन एडवोकेट और जज, it is very difficult to maintain it with dignity and consistency. It may be very easy to be an advocate or a judge, but it is very difficult to maintain it with dignity and consistency. There is no direct or shortcut method to get success in the legal profession unless one has dedication, devotion, commitment, and conviction. He will not get success in the legal profession. Legend Prafulla Kumar Dhal was the characteristics of all the ingredients to get success in the legal profession. ମୁଁ ଥରେ 1990 ମସିହାରେ ଆମ ସାର୍ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ରିମିନାଲ ରିଭିଜନ ଦେଇକି ପଠେଇଥିଲେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଘର। ମୁଁ 90 ମସିହାରେ ଆସିଲି, ସେ ଲୋକ ମୋ ସାଥିରେ ଆସିଥିଲା। ଆସିଲା ପରେ କେସ୍ ପତ୍ର ଦେଲି, ଦେଲା ପରେ ଟଙ୍କା ବି ମୁଁ ଦେଇ ସାରିଲା ପରେ ମତେ ଡାକିଲେ ଖାଇଛୁ ନା, ମୁଁ ଖାଇଛି ଦେଇକି ମତେ ଉପରକୁ ଡାକି ନେଲେ, ପୁରୀ ଆଉ ତରକାରୀ ଦେଲେ, 200 ଟଙ୍କା ମତେ ଦେଲେ, କହିଲେ ଏଟା ତୋ ଟଙ୍କା, ରଘୁକୁ କହିବୁନି। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ବୋତଲର ପାଣି ଦେଲେ, କହିଲା କେଣେ କଟକର ପାଣି ପିଇବୁନି, ଖାଲି ନଳା ପାଣି, ତୁ ଏଇ ପାଣି ପିଇବୁ, ଏବଂ 200 ଟଙ୍କା ମୁଁ ଦେନି, ରଘୁକୁ କହିବୁନି, ଏଟା ତୋ ଟଙ୍କା। ସେ ଭାରି ସ୍ନେହୀ ବି ଥିଲେ। ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୁଭାର୍ବ ଅଛି 2016 କ୍ରିମିନାଲ ଲ ଜର୍ନାଲର ଗୋଟେ ଗୁଜରାଟ ହାଇକୋର୍ଟରେ ଜଣେ ଲେଖିଥିଲେ, ଏ ମ୍ୟାନ୍ ଇଜ ନୋନ୍ ବାଇ ଦି କମ୍ପାନୀ ହି କିପ୍ସ, ଏ ନେସନ୍ ଇଜ ନୋନ୍ ବାଇ ଦି ଜୁଡିସିଆରୀ ଇଟ୍ ହ୍ୟାଜ୍, ଦି worth of a nation is measured by its judiciary, which is the ultimate keeper of the nation's conscience. Our Odisha High Court Bar Association is known by some of the legend veteran and of the legal profession, like late great lawyer Prafulla Kumar Dhal. We being the successor of great lawyer P.K. Dhal in legal profession, we shall always try to keep his majesty upright as it is. Let no harm be fall upon it in future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words and valuable insights. Now I would request the Chief Speaker of the evening, Honorable Shri Justice Dikshit Krishna Sripad Sir, Judge Odisha High Court, to address this August gathering. Sir.
Senior Justice Naidu Saab, Sister Savitri, brother judges are here to deter me. Whenever I speak, they will mark their attendance only to keep me in bounds. Therefore, I should thank them. And Brother Behera, very beautifully he spoke. Little I could understand. Little I could understand because your language contains number of Sanskrit words. Even the syntax and texture of the language, they are similar to that of the Sanskrit language itself. Therefore, I could make out many English words also he made use of. And sisters, brothers from my Purvashrama, I also come from the bar only, this bar. Senior advocates, the aspiring advocates, students, ladies and gentlemen. I have been asked to say a few words about Constitution and Dharma Shastra. And I have been given a time span of 30 minutes. To do justice, I have to stop the watch. But I will make my efforts to say a brief of what Constitution is and what our Dharma Shastras are, how they are interlinked in the text, context, traditions, and ethos. Unlike American Constitution, unwritten Constitution of UK, Australian Constitution, Japan's Constitution, where from we have taken our Article 21. You have seen some constitutions say we want to build wall between state and the church. American Constitution is one of them. Right from the days of the Washington's days only. They always wanted to build a strong wall, China wall, between the religion and the state affairs. And therefore, in Yakus versus President, the apex court of US Federal Court, Federal Supreme Court, recognized the theory of separation of powers as the basic feature of American Constitution. Ours also, we have seen in Sahib Ram Javaya Kapoor versus State of Punjab, 1950s judgment, where the apex court said It did not use the word basic feature, but it said our constitution is structured on the principles of separation of powers, executive, judiciary, and the legislature. We have that. Now, one important thing I want to highlight: we have never accepted the Western model, nor we have accepted Australian model, nor of American model. Ours is a different one. We never built any wall, even screen between the affairs of the state and the scriptures, religions, the traditions, customs. We never built that way. Although such sentences you will find in several judgments of the apex court. Ours is a secular state, therefore we are not concerned with religion. No, the word secular employed in our English version of the Constitution is not equivalent to dharma nirapekshata used in that Devanagari in which our Constitution is written. This is first thing. And the first page of the Constitution, perhaps many of you have not seen. I have brought a Xerox copy of the first page itself. This is the first page. Very important thing is one line is written, Satyameva Jayate. First line. Our constitution begins with this line. But we think always our constitution begins with the preamble, which the apex court in Keswananda said, preamble is part of the constitution and therefore power to amend under Article 38 would extend to amend the preamble also. That's how preamble has been amended, and that is bitterly criticized is another thing. Therefore, the first thing, Satyam Meva Jayate, where from we take it? We have 4 Vedas, 16 Puranas, at least 3 Itihasas, which we call as mythologies. Mythology is not equivalent to Itihasa. The Greek Odyssey, and such other Homer's works. 108 Upanishads. This is what Nariman also says in his, before the memory fades, he refers in a footnote. In the 3 Upanishads, this Ukti, in Sanskrit we called as Ukti. In fact, I was so happy to see that the program began with the chanting of 5th chapter of our Bhagavad Gita, Panchamadhyaya. So beautifully that pretty boy chanted. There, in Bhagavad Gita, there is one very important shloka, which you can associate with Smriti Samsat. Smriti in Sanskrit is memory. Samsat is assembly, that all you have assembled here. And to celebrate the memory of the great lawyer, Mr. Prafulla Kumar Dhal, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka which says, Smriti Bhramshat Buddhinasho, Buddhinashat Pranashyati. If we lose memory, our intellectual prowess diminishes, and if our intellectual power diminishes, our fall, our decline begins. Therefore, we have to remember the great stalwarts of the bar like Prafulla Kumar Dhal, in honor of whom we have all gathered here. Therefore, Smriti Samsat is Anvarthaka. It has very emotive content. It is nothing but the celebration of memories. We should remember the great people. One of the bar members came to my chamber, and I wanted to know how this great person was. No, he told me that he was great, but there is one whisper at the society that he was representing very bad people in criminal case. And he added one more note. It is also said he died early because of those cases only. Then I told him Ram Jetmalani appeared for worst of the criminals, including the assassins of former Prime Minister of the country. He lived beyond 95, 96 years. How are you going to relate all these two things? Then I also told him Adi Shankaracharya completed his life at the age of 32, Vivekananda at 41, 42. Many have vanished away in the clean of time. That's how I got the impression about the footprints of this great man. He was a great criminal lawyer, I am told. He also appeared in very important certain civil matters also. I felt so happy that this gathering is to commemorate great men. That has something to do with our Gita. Therefore, I quoted Smriti Brahmshat Buddhinashat Pranashyati. We should always keep our smritis intact, memories intact. Nowadays, we do not do much of exercise to retain memory power or enhance the level of memory power. These things generally we do not do. But the scriptures say that we should have smriti. Many smriti karas have written the smritis. Our constitution is Dr. Ambedkar Smriti, like Manu Smriti, Parashara Smriti, Yoga Vasishta. Many Smriti karas are like that. Our constitution can be called as Ambedkar Smriti because his memories, his intellect, his knowledge have been reflected in coining the provisions of the constitution. And those who say we are a secular state and therefore we have to keep temples, mosques, and churches away, Igarji away, may not be correct because the first line that appears in, I am not very sure, but this line is quoted in the Constituent Assembly. Every member of the Constituent Assembly knew this because every page is turned. Then the signatures have been affixed by members of the Constituent Assembly. Therefore, we have taken this great statement that dharmo rakshati rakshati rakshitaha. If we protect dharma, dharma protects us. But the question is, what is that dharma? For me, one thing is dharma. For others, it may not be dharma at all. It may be adharma also. But there should be a common ground on which social organization is formed. Those principles which sustain the social organization, we can say they are the principles of dharma. Our dharma is not equivalent to the English secular, the religion. Religion is something which connects or makes effort to connect individual to the Almighty. But dharma, it need not be. It has nothing to do with the Almighty at all. That dharma is the living force, hidden force, underlying force, undercurrent of our constitution. So I am going to say that. Kindly see this. The second page, the chapter, this is voted in the Constituent Assembly. This is this Mohenjo-daro seal. This is nothing but our Nandi, Shiva's Vahana. Yes, it is not any without any significance that these pictures are put like a Patta Chitra of your Orissa state. No, not that way. They have significance in the sense a committee was formed. Committee of experts was formed under the guidance of Dr. Ambedkar, and that committee suggested what should be the pictures to be printed in the constitution. With significance, these pictures have been printed. This is number one. Number two, I have shown. Number three, this is in part two of our constitution. This is voted in the Constituent Assembly. In part two, Gurukul appears. Gurukul appears because our traditions, our customs, our ethos, our genius, the Gurukuls were the factories of these things. That is the reason Why Lord Macaulay in 1935 wrote a letter to Queen Victoria saying the whole culture of this country is founded on Gurukul system. Therefore, immediately what we have to do is to abolish the Gurukuls. The first resolution which he recommended was abolition of Gurukul and helping of Gurukuls, financing Gurukuls a cognizable offense. He wanted to abolish that because it is Gurukuls which gave education to the masses. They never depended upon any caste and other things. We have seen, very often I quote that, Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh, Jabali. Jabali was admitted to Gurukul. When he went for admission as a child, the Rishi of that Gurukul asked, which is, who are you? Who are your parents? He said, Father, I do not know. My mother is at home. He said, go and ask your mother. And he went to that house and asked mother, Mother, who is my father? And mother said, I am a woman of easy virtue. My profession is not that good, that honorable. Therefore, I cannot say who actually your father is. Then he went back to Gurukul and reported the same thing to the manager of the Gurukul himself. And the Rishi was astonished. Therefore, truth. He was admitted to the institution. Then he became Jabali. The Madhya Pradesh Jabalpur is named after him. There are many monuments which say story about Jabali also. I am not on which is that Shukan Shukla versus from Jabalpur. It is ADM Jabalpur versus Shukan Shukla. It is only a contrast where the apex court had let down the citizen on the ground that during emergency nothing can be done. That is not the law. That is not the dharma. Of course, in September 2011, the apex court offered its apology to the country, saying that we wrongly decided that matter. That's another thing. Now, therefore, these pictures we have to be little advertent to these things. Part 3 of our constitution begins with the Ramayana, Bharata's Bandhu Prema. See this, fraternity. This is constitution, original constitution. But unfortunately, no commentary worth mentioning will mention about these pictures and significance of these pictures. Ramayana is there in the constitution. Even in Ayodhya judgment, there is no reference to this picture in the constitution. I read the entire judgment twice just to ascertain how these things are viewed by courts and those who function with the constitution. No commentary. Basu's commentary, D.D. Basu's commentary, H.M. Shirwai's commentary. There are commentaries by S.N. Jain and M.P. Jain on the constitution, and there is commentary by M.V. Paili. Nothing is mentioned about it. And even in Glanville Austin's two works, the Indian Constitution, a cornerstone of the nation. There he does not say one word about these pictures. In the second book, Working a Democratic Constitution, where he bitterly criticizes the previous regimes who played with the constitution like a jellyfish, they do not mention that. This is third one. Next, very importantly, we have Mahabharata. This is again from the constitution, original constitution. I know that I have to speak with responsibility, with abundant sense of responsibility in an assembly, August assembly like this. Therefore, I have brought these Xerox copies, photostat copies, where this is a Mahabharata and this is Krishna Arjuna, where Bhagavad Gita took birth. The Jaya Kavya took birth in the war field. It was not written like Homer wrote Iliad and Odyssey. It was not written like Shakespeare used to write poems. Byron used to write, Iliad used to write Yeats, Keats. All they used to. That way, it was not written. It was written when 18 Akshohini Sainyas were facing each other, and everybody wanted to kill everybody. There was abundant tension. At that time, this Bhagavad Gita took birth. Therefore, it is put as a picture in our constitution. Then we have Buddha, Lord Buddha, Bhagavan Buddha. This is in part 5, Buddha the Great, along with Isa Gautami and other disciples. With that picture, it is given. Buddha in Dashavatar, Bauddhavatare, Asmin, Vartamane. You will do it in every day in Sandhya Vandan. Bauddhavatara itself is avatara, one of the 10 avatars in our ethos, in our traditions. That is also printed. Then we have Jaina, 24th Tirthankara, Mahavira in the constitution. Yes. Like this, then we have Vikramaditya. This also in the constitution. Vikramaditya's court was known for great intellectuals, the great principles of governance. He used to honor the wise and the wisdom always. Therefore, that is. Then we have Nalanda library. The Nalanda library, the foreigner came, I need not name him, and he asked what is there. They said, this is a library. What is meant by library? He said, world's great books and treatises are stored here in a systematic way, so that anybody who wants particular topic can lay his hand and choose that book. He said, whether there are books which contain something which is not mentioned in Quran. He said, yes. If everything is in Quran, why we need this library? Let us burn the library. The people of book burned the library. Books were burned by people who used to go by book. This is how V.S. Naipaul writes, great Nobel Prize winner, writes that. This is also another one. And we should be very proud of Orissa sculpture appearing in Indian Constitution. I am not very sure that all of you would be knowing this. Only when we turn pages with the research mentality, we will be able to know these things. Only Orissa sculpture appears in the Constitution. Very, very wisely chosen it is. Then we have Lord Shiva in Nataraja form. You also are aware that Indian government fought a case in British courts and succeeded in bringing Nataraja Murthy back to India. If you go to Google, you will find those cases also. This is Nataraja Shiva. Then we have Himalaya. This is very important because our north boundary is decided by mountains of Himalayas, Himalayan range. That fixes India's boundary. And these were not mindlessly printed in our constitution. This apart, we have one Mahabalipuram. There are totally 22 pictures. Of them, very important ones I have brought and shown to you. Now, alone trims. Satya, Satyam eva jayate. Truth alone trims. Nanrutam, not the falsity. Its full form is like that. There is a big shloka itself. Then we have one question. Why, if truth were to be triumphs, then why truth is not a defense in contempt? The question arises. If constitutional ethos is truth alone triumphs, why should not truth be a defense in contempt proceedings? If you say that a judge is corrupt and you have abundant evidence to show that he is, and still that would not be allowed as a defense all of a sudden. In one judgment of Kerala High Court given by Justice Krishna Iyer, he said, even in pursuing truth, there should be sense of proportion. It's a good judgment which you can read. The youngsters, law students may read. Basic idea is that alone triumphs. But Vedic meaning, Upanishad meaning of that statement is very profound. It is not fact. Satyam is not equivalent to English truth, English fact, English existentialism. It is something profound that we may not go today. Some other day we will look in. Then we have Satyameva Jayate, we have seen. Then we have Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha, we have seen. There are three judgments of the apex court in relation to the 81, 82, 83 of Representation of People Act 1951 relating to electoral malpractices, where votes are garnered in the name of religion, whether in the name of dharma. If votes are garnered, whether there is violation, does it amount to electoral offense, where the apex court said dharma and religion are two different things. Dharma is way of life and religion is the way of worship, etc. That difference we have maintained in our constitutional jurisprudence. Then the other one, when Mahabharata war was about to start, Duryodhana went to Mother Gandhari and prayed for victory. Gandhari said, Yato dharma tato jaya. Where son is praying before the mother, saying, we are waging war against Pandavas, kindly bless us with victory. And mother says, where there is dharma, there the victory will dwell. This is also one of the mottos. In all high courts, this is our motto. This motto we bring from Mahabharata itself. Then this that only difference which our two things I wanted to say. The time given to me is very short. I also notice that you have already heard many speeches. I cannot completely delve into the subject deeply. I only say these pictures' significance should be treated by scholars like you in your pleadings or in your judgments in the making. I do not know. Or in your writings, if you write any book on commentary on the constitutional law, you can just dedicate one chapter as to what is the significance of these pictures and how they are associated with our constitutionalism, which speaks of limited powers. One thing, because Ramayana, I want to say one thing. In Ramayana, when Lord Rama was coronated, there is one shloka which says, I am the emperor of this world and I am not answerable to anybody. At that time, Lord Rama is said to have chanted that particular shloka as a ritual. And Vasishta, Muni Vasishta and Muni Vamadeva, who were royal courtiers, they held that Dharmadanda and had bet on the head of Lord Rama, saying, howsoever high you may be, law, dharma, they are above you. This is Daisy concept of rule of law, which Daisy always you say, rule of law is ascribed to A.V. Dicey, Professor A.V. Dicey, which he mentioned in his constitution of law of the Constitution of England in 19th century, in his famous book, which he has written. But that was there long, long ago in our Ramayana period itself. And that is the rule of law, and rule of law is held to be one of the basic features of the constitution in Keswananda, and also repeated in Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Rajanarayan. So that we have taken from Ramayana itself. Then accountability. See, Lord Rama was the king, and a washerman whispers about the character of Sita Mata, a pregnant lady. Though he was a king, he took cognizance of that complaint. Where you will find this? He knew what the citizen was saying was not true, but he wanted to show impartiality. Any citizen, ordinary washerman, if he complains, Lord Rama takes cognizance of that and acts upon that. This greatness you will not find in the history of mankind anywhere. All those you have seen, all these constitutions of the world constitutions, with M.E. Piley mentions 18 constitutions he has quoted as great constitutions of the world. Not even one constitution speaks about anything other than man. All those constitutions are anthropocentric, man-centered. Man is the focal point of all these constitutions. Unlike our constitution, in our constitution we have fundamental duties, we have Himalayas, we have Gurukulas, we have rivers, almost all rivers except one or two, like Brahmaputra and another. All rivers are named after women. Why women? Because Manusmriti says, Yatra naryastu pujjante, tatra ramante devataha. Where women like you are respected, honored, there the gods will dwell. Just compare this with English law, where the Witch Hunt Act was there. Witch Hunt Acts were there right from 12th century, before 1215 Magna Carta. 1289 Magna Carta, they had Witch Hunt Acts, where suspected witch used to be burnt alive. She was burnt alive. And do you know, when all these laws were abolished in 1951, they were abolished in 1951. In our ethos, woman, Ubhaya Bharati, was the judge between Mandana Mishra and Adi Shankaracharya. And Ubhaya Bharati is none other than wife of Mandana Mishra himself. She was made a judge to a judge who is right in his argument, whether Sanatana Dharma or other faith. And Ubhaya Bharati gave a verdict in favor of Adi Shankara against her own husband. See the impartiality of woman. That is the reason why even in Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, you will find the Portia, the lady as the judge. 1 pound of flesh, not even a drop of blood. And Skylark was aghast with that judgment. That was there. You are only finding it in Shakespearean dramas. But in our scriptures, like Gargi, Maitreyi, the wives of Yagnavalkya, which Yagnavalkya Smriti, on which entire Mitakshara has been built by Vignaneshwara of Karnataka. The contributors were women only. Many women contributed as commentaries on Upanishads also. That is the greatness of our culture and just compare this to the status of women in America. In America, till 1931, the right to vote was not given to the women. In England, till 1891, killing wife was not manslaughter because wife was considered to be half of husband, part of husband, and they used to say, all husbands who killed the wives were acquitted because manslaughter is not proved. It amounts to half suicide, and suicide was not made an offense at all. Only in 1891 they amended. And in our culture, how we treat women, that is the reason why we have made Article 15(3) the Constitution for women and children. For women and children. See the Mahabharata war, how the war principles, we say it was a de jure belli ac passis, where Hugo Crotius gave the principles of war, law of sea, etc. But these war principles were there during Mahabharata war, during Ramayana, Rama Ravana war also. We never annexed any land. Rama defeated Ravana. In any history book of Will Durant, Story of Civilization by Arnold Toynbee, The World History, or R.C. Majumdar history, if you read, wherever they have won, they just killed the royal families and occupied the thrones there, and they imposed their law and their religion on other people. This is the history. Will Durant mentions about this. See how our scriptures are, how our epics are. Rama defeated Ravana, and Lakshmana told Rama, brother Rama, 14 years we have been here in Ajnatavas, a kind of vanavas. Bharata was very good initially. Now he has enjoyed political power. How he will treat us back, we do not know. So, anyway, we have vanquished Ravana. You became king. Even Vibhishana, brother of Ravana himself, is saying, come and sit on the throne in Sri Lanka. Such a beautiful land where we can peacefully live here itself. If Bharata and Shatrughna, if they want to come here, let them come, no problem. And Rama said, Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. Janani and Janma Bhumi, they are greater than our heaven. We never annexed any land. Just see the famous judgment of the apex court in that famous Privy Purse case, Rajadi Raja Madhavrao Scindia versus Union of India, 1971 Supreme Court. We had more than 500 samsthanas. Not even one was annexed by another. And Bharat comprised all these samsthanas where women were held high. I do not want to make adverse comment on any other religion. Just because you are all students of law, we are all students of law. Mohammedan law we have seen by Mullah, Mitra, and Verma, three important books. 5G, Outlines of Mohammedan Law, where one woman witness cannot be a witness. Minimum 2 women are to be witness. That is the law. Famous books I have quoted. All famous books I have quoted. You can turn their pages. And I'm making this statement with sense of responsibility so that you can ask me till my retirement in July. I will be here only. Read any book. It says, two women witnesses. How can that be? How can that be? How we have treated women, how we have treated children. All this is part of our constitutionalism. Constitution is not a text. It is not like a Kettle Trespass Act. Constitution is a living document, said the Supreme Court in Keswananda Bharati. Organic document. Justice S.M. Sikri's words I am putting before you. Organic document which welds the nation together. And have you ever seen that India going to war against any other country? Even after independence, 1948 aggression, not by us. 1965 aggression, not by us. 1962 September war with China, not by ours. Thereafter also we have seen so many things. How other countries behave and what has happened to the constitutions in those countries. What is happening to our constitution in this country? I am in the last leg of my lecture. Our constitution is sustained because it is founded on the principles of dharma. And only our constitution is sustained. In the last book, You Must Read Your Constitution by Fali Nariman. Before he closed his eyes, he wrote his last book. Society will be knowing. There in the page 3, he says, the average lifespan of the constitution is 17 years. And exceptions are our constitution, American constitution. The whole American constitution, less than 30 articles, they have expanded constitutional jurisprudence, judgment by judgment. And our constitution is sustained. It is growing. It is growing. Our high courts gave verdict against the prime minister of the country and said that you are corrupt. Rajanarayan versus Indira Nehru Gandhi, 1975 May 11 judgment. Of course, the constitution was amended and the appeal came to be allowed is another thing. The strength of Indian judiciary, where from it comes? From our culture, from our tradition. These things come. These are part undercurrents of our constitution. That is how dharma is the undercurrent of our constitution. Just to see the constitutions in the neighboring countries. They also formed the constitution when we formulated once. What has happened to Pakistan constitution? How many times it has been abolished? We accepted the basic structure of the constitution cannot be altered, even by plebiscite. The Pakistan Supreme Court in 1962 and in 1968, in two judgments, said basic structure is unknown to our constitution and their constitution. You see the constitution in Bangladesh. You see the constitution in Nepal, Bhutan, Bosnia. How many constitutions have died? Those constitutions, the countries which boasted that we have great constitutions, where have they gone? What happened to those constitutions? But our constitution is growing because it is founded on the principles of Sanatana Dharma. As long as Sanatana Dharma is alive, so long our constitution is safe. And now, with the last, I do not know whether I should tell this. The attack on Sanatana Dharma without knowing ABC of that. Comparing Sanatana Dharma to mosquito. See, mosquito is complaining against malaria. Unheard of. These things are unheard of. As long as our Sanatana Dharma remains, so long our constitution will remain. But there is threat as a student of history, with little exposure to literature, history, religion, sociology, economics, and such other subjects. Not much. In my limited exposure, I feel the Sanatana Dharma principles are under challenge. And one has to be very alert to save the constitution. Otherwise, our constitution, a lost sentence, I should say, it was Joseph Story, who was quoted by none other than Sir Sachidananda Sinha of Constituent Assembly Chairman. First lecture, there was no constitution that was not murdered, and there is no constitution which will not commit suicide. With this warning, I thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you, sir. I am sorry that I have exceeded my time limit also.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights on the topic. We are indeed indebted to you to have drawn a bridge between our constitution and Dharma Shastra, or rather revealed to us that the same exists, to your eloquent and invaluable address to this August gathering. Now I invite Honorable Chief Justice A.S. Naidu, former Judge, Odisha High Court, and our beloved President of the Sansad, for the presidential address of this August gathering.
I will request all of you to sit down and spare for only for 2 minutes, because after this speech of my lord, I don't think I will spoil your taste. You have to carry whatever my lord spoke to you. This has to be vibrate in your mind, and I don't want to impose it by any other thought. So that's why I will not take much time. Well, honorable, honorable, honorable Dikrit Krishna Shripad, honorable Justice Behra, my dear Manoj, and dear Upendra. All others who are sitting over here, most of my friends, senior advocates, ladies, gentlemen, and honorable judges, all the three of them. I think Ms. Sabitri has left in the meanwhile. Mr. Shivakumar Mishra, both the Mishras over there, and Mr. Sanjoy Mishra, and my dear Nursing. So, to speak about topic, before I thank Mr. Sripad about his speech, I will only tell you one thing. This organization, this meeting which we have every year, mostly though I'm sick, I'm not able to come and attend other meetings. I never lose to come and attend this. That's because I want to pay my homage to a elegant person who was my teacher in the law college, who taught me how to start practice. He is the person who taught me what is Evidence Act is and what criminal law is concerned. Thereafter, when I joined the chamber of late Srikanta Mahanti, the then Advocate General, retired Advocate General, I found that he was the first disciple of Srikanta Mahanti. In other words, he became my Guru Bhai. Then when I joined the bar, he was in fact leading me by my fingers. There was no day when I was not encouraged by him, not reprimanded by him, or not guided by him. He was taking full care of me, even better than Munna also. And he used to guide me on every step. I had a great opportunity to appear against him, appear along with him, and also to face him in the court. People say he's the doyen of criminal law, but as far as my experience shows, it's not very correct. He is a epitome of knowledge so far as land laws are concerned. His knowledge in Orissa State Abolition Act, in Orissa Tenancy Act, and other revenue laws is impact. And in fact, one has to put his head down. As far as Evidence Act is concerned, people say if the Evidence Act is somehow or other misplaced somewhere, there are only two persons in Orissa who can replace them. One is Mr. Prafulla Dhala, as he was, and another is Justice Narsing's father. He was also there, a epitome of knowledge as far as the Evidence Act is concerned. So that's how we stand. I will not take much time. Karnataka and Orissa, the bondage between these two states is really very sweet and very important also. We had a couple of judges, eminent judges from Karnataka, and we have another whom you find in the dais. Justice Sripath is a great judge, moreover a great human being, dedicated to literature and religion. As I'm told, he's also dedicated to upliftment of
human rights, and other factors. I find him to be a man of great values, magnanimous in his attitude, and highly intelligent, sharp, with great knowledge of law, a epitome of sublime intellect. I wish him all success. My Lord said that he will be with us till July, but I pray Lord Jagannath that he should be Chief Justice somewhere in between, so that we will be more proud and we can pray the Lord that yes, a correct man, a man who has the merit to adore that chair, is not deprived of it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Once again, we meet next year. Thank you very much. Nice of you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now I would request Deepsha Dhal to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable men are not defined merely by their positions or achievements, but by the standards they set for others to follow. Rarer still are those whose lives establish principles so enduring that successive generations continue to measure themselves against them. Today's gathering is not just a commemoration of his life, but also a celebration of his legacy, a life devoted to law, justice, and spirituality. On behalf of Prafulla Kumar Dhal Smriti Sansad, I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude as we express our deepest appreciation for your presence here today. Your warmth and support means the world to us as we gather to commemorate the 27th memorial meeting in honor of my grandfather, late Shri Prafulla Kumar Dhal. I would like to express our gratitude to the distinguished guests who took the time to share their insights and reflections today. Their insights were beyond tribute. They provided thoughtful reminders of what it means to serve the law with humility, courage, and ethical clarity. Through their words, we were reminded that the measure of a lawyer lies not merely in success or stature, but in fairness of conduct, responsibility to society, and respect for the institution one serves. I thank our esteemed chief guest for the evening, Honorable Justice Shri Harish Tandon Sir, Chief Justice Orissa High Court, without whom this event would have been incomplete. Our chief speaker, Honorable Justice Shri Dikshit Krishna Shripad Sir, your exposition beautifully articulated how constitutional values, justice, dignity, duty are not isolated modern constructs, but are deeply rooted in India's civilizational understanding of dharma. By drawing these connections with clarity and balance, you reminded us that the Constitution is not merely a legal document, but a moral framework that demands responsible interpretation and practice. A guest of honor, Honorable Justice Shri A.C. Behra sir, your words have not only honored late Shri P.K. Dhal's memory, but have also inspired us to carry forward his values and teachings. A guest of honor, Shri Manoj Kumar Mishra sir, President High Court Bar Association, thank you so much for your gracious presence. We are guided today by Honorable Justice A.S. Naidu sir as our President, who has been our mentor for many years now. I thank you, sir, for your tireless strength and endless support in guiding us. I thank all the judges and dignitaries present today off the dais for your kind presence and support. Ladies and gentlemen present in the August gathering, thank you so much for being a part of today's ceremony. My sincere thanks to the office bearers and members of the High Court Bar Association, to all those who worked quietly behind the scenes to organize this memorial service with dignity and care. I also thank the media personnel present this evening and the team of Prafulla Kumar Dhal Smriti Sansad for their tireless efforts and hard work to make this event a grand success. Lastly, I thank everyone involved in the food, photography, digital, sound, and venue department for their help, especially Mr. Sanjay Kumar Mohapatra for his untiring help with the live streaming of the program. In closing, let us carry forward the spirit of today's gathering and may we honor late Shri Prikedhal's memory by embodying the qualities that made him such an extraordinary man. Once again, thank you for being a part of this special occasion and for helping us celebrate the life and legacy of late Shri Prafulla Kumar Dhal. May his memory continue to inspire us all. Thank you.